Ever got stuff going on continuously in your head, and no matter how hard you try, you just can't fall asleep? Well, that's pretty much me right now as I'm writing the script at 2 in the morning. My current predicament has got me thinking about basketball stuff from years past that still haunts me to this day. I'll forever wish these circumstances had played out differently. Obviously, these memories will be somewhat biased, considering the fact that I have to be emotionally involved in order for them to bother me after all these years. I definitely want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Which scenarios of basketball history do you wish would have gone differently after all these years? Now for my list, first off is the first round of the 2006 West playoffs and it's Game 6. You guys know this series, Lakers vs Suns, and at the end of Game 4, Kobe hit what was arguably the most iconic shot of his career, the game-winning buzzer beater that put the Lakers up 3-1 in the series. Even with a lead that big, I wasn't very comfortable. Phoenix was the far more talented second seed, and the Lakers were fortunate just to get a 3-1 lead in the first place. With their back against the wall, I knew Phoenix was going to win Game 5 in their own building, so in my mind, the series came down to Game 6 in Los Angeles. Both teams played like it was a must-win, and the result was an absolute classic. If you're like me and enjoy watching great games of years past, this is one you might want to check out, as it was an incredibly suspenseful back-and-forth battle throughout. This was Kobe's highest scoring playoff game of his career, and was certainly one of the best games of his career as well. He dropped 50 points in the game, and the degree of difficulty on some of his shots down the stretch was absolutely insane. After Kobe gets another difficult bucket, we're up by 3. All we need is one stop, but instead it goes sour very quickly. We can't contest anything very well, we can't get a loose ball, we can't box out and get a damn rebound, and this scrambling and amateur effort leads to Tim Thomas burying an open 3 to tie the game. All we had to do was secure the loose ball and the series is over. If we get that rebound, Kobe leads the 7th-seeded Lakers to upset the Phoenix Suns, and he does it with a 50-piece that will be remembered for the ages. Instead, in reality, the game goes to overtime, Phoenix wins Game 6, and then goes on to win Game 7. Obviously with this group, the Lakers aren't winning a championship even if they defeated the Suns in the first round. But there's a good chance they get to the Western Conference Finals, considering the second round would have been a matchup with the LA Clippers, a team that the Lakers had done well against that regular season. If Kobe took guys like Smush Parker, Kwame Brown, Chris Mim, and Luke Walton to the West Finals, then that would have been the stuff of legends. Maybe it seems insignificant in the grand scheme of things, but for me, this is just one moment that I can't quite get over. Second on my list is Michael Jordan's first season in Washington. Now before I get into this, let me first make a point. If someone was to say to you, man, wasn't Kevin Durant a disappointment in the 2019 NBA Finals? It's a shame that he couldn't get the team over the hump. You would probably be confused and remind that person that Kevin Durant got hurt and didn't finish the series because of it. As obvious as this logic sounds, people do this all the time with Michael Jordan's years in Washington. Michael Jordan's 2002 season was cut short because of a meniscus tear. He couldn't even finish the season, yet people blame him for missing the playoffs. I don't know if it's that people don't remember, they weren't paying attention, or if they simply just choose to ignore this fact. But it's really a bad look and appears ignorant when people use it as a criticism against him. Now here's the thing, Jordan and the Wizards were a lot better than people remember before he tore his meniscus. He had pretty solid numbers on the season and had led Washington to many crucial victories over Eastern Conference contenders, but he was getting even better as the season went on. In his last 10 games leading up to his injury, Jordan was averaging nearly 30 points, over 6 rebounds, and over 6 assists on 47% shooting. Individually, he was completely on fire leading up to the injury, but Washington was dominating as a team as well. They had a 26-21 record at the time of Jordan's injury, which put them easily in the playoff picture. But that record alone is severely lacking context. The Wizards' second best player was Richard Hamilton, who missed 5 weeks of their 26-21 stretch due to Hamilton's groin injury. After Hamilton healed and returned to the floor, the Wizards went on a dominant 15-1 streak while they had both Jordan and Hamilton on the floor. They were also easily the best team in the league defensively during that stretch, allowing only 86.3 points per game. So in a nutshell, Jordan was nearly 40 years old and was performing at an MVP level, and the Wizards were not only in the playoff hunt, but they were starting to look like one of the best teams in the entire Eastern Conference. And the only thing that ruined that momentum was Jordan's teammate Eton Thomas falling on his knee and tearing his meniscus. I wish this injury did not happen. It would have been amazing to see what noise Jordan and the Wizards could have made in the Eastern Conference playoffs. I really doubt they beat Jason Kidd's New Jersey Nets to get to the NBA Finals where they would have faced Shaq and Kobe's Lakers, but it is possible that they might have. Neither you or I know for sure, but I really wish I could have seen that season play out for MJ. Third and last on my list is the 1989 NBA Finals. Now I've explained this before, but let me explain it again real quick. I was not old enough to have seen this series, as I was only born in 1989, but it certainly feels like I did see it live, as my first experience watching this was as a kid in the mid-90s on these exact VHS tapes, and I had no idea who was going to win the series. The Lakers won the NBA championship in 1987 and 1988, which meant this finals appearance was a chance for Los Angeles to get their first three-peat in franchise history. If they were going to do it, they were going to have to defeat Isaiah Thomas and the Detroit Pistons. This would have given Magic Johnson 6 rings, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar his 7th ring in his farewell season. I knew it was going to be a tough series, considering the Lakers had just gone to 7 games with the Pistons in the previous NBA Finals. Detroit won Game 1 at home, but the second game was a close dogfight, and the Lakers had a serious opportunity to win the game, which would have given them home court advantage for the rest of the series. But with only several minutes left in the third quarter, the Lakers were up by a bucket, and Detroit was on a fast break when Magic Johnson started hobbling. He had pulled his hamstring, and the pain was clearly seen on his face. Magic wanted to push through it, but eventually he had no choice, and had to sit out the rest of the game. Magic wouldn't be the same for the rest of the series, and what could have been an epic three-peat and a perfect end to Abdul-Jabbar's career, instead all went up in smoke as the MVP of the league had no other choice but to go to the bench. Obviously, as a Lakers fan, I've been pretty spoiled throughout my life, but it's not like that completely nullifies all the painful near-miss memories. If there's one thing I learned from this video, it's that I really despise players with the last name Thomas. Let me know in the comments section what are some of your basketball experiences that you wish played out differently. A couple examples would be losing Kevin Garnett in 2009 if you're a Celtics fan, or even Derrick Rose's injury if you're a Bulls fan. Seeing that this is a very personal video for me, I look forward to hearing your personal experiences below. Thanks for watching as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.